guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Coach Carrie, and in this one's a little longer, but I thought that I would give you guys a quick, oh, the cat's meowing in the back if you hear him. I thought I'd give you a quick look through of some of the journals that I am using, some of the planners I'm using this year. These are my mid-year. They started July 2024 to next year, June 2025. And these are all pretty much from the Hobby Lobby planner section. In the next video, I will show you my happy planners that I picked up for this year. But I wanted to focus mainly on the A52 or the Agenda 52 at Hobby Lobby. I picked several of them up, and I'm just showing you like the stock card that is actually for each month, the decorations on each one. Each one has a different layout. I want to say I have about 5 or 6 of those Agenda 55 or 52 books. I really like these. These are really inexpensive, especially when you are a first-time paper planner and you don't really know what to invest in. I always say that if anyone asked, I would suggest this over like the Erin Condren or the Happy Planners, because those are more on the higher end when it comes to price. But I feel like this is really great practice to start with. This is a really good base. They're usually like $14.99 or $16.99. I think the most expensive one I've ever seen was like for $21, and that's pretty okay. That's pretty decent. Even the stickers are ranging anywhere from $4.99 to $8.99, sometimes $12.99, depends on it. And coming up here in this video, we're gonna decorate and plan out a week, and I will be using a mix of Agenda 52 stickers along with some Happy Planner, Caliber Plan, and Wrong. Those are my favorites right now. Those are the people that I usually buy stickers from. I do order a lot of Happy Planners. For me, I started out with a Happy Planner because I watch Planning with Bumble, and then I also watch Michelle on Plan On It, and I love both of them, and they usually use Happy Planners. So I use like their links in the beginning when I started out paper planning to get like what they got. And then I realized that I wanted to try something different, and it's okay once you get into paper planning, you start to adapt to what others out there, when you do your research, they recommend what kind of planners they use, and you think, hey, I want to use that as well. But then I said to myself, hey, I need to figure out which layout really works for me. Does a classic planner layout work for me? Does the vertical work for me? And so I think that's why this year I wanted to like really hone in on where I can do most of my journaling era. I'm really into journaling and jotting down a lot more, like writing a lot more of what's going on in my day. And I just didn't really want to focus on, just the aesthetic of the planner. Like the Happy Planner vertical, that's like been my main focus. But I realized that I wasn't journaling. I didn't have extra pages to do it, and I never did a Franken plan, so I didn't bother with that. So when I saw these Agenda 52 planners where they had like an extra page for notes, they had more space for me to jot down like my thoughts, and like I love to put down like gratitude quotes that I read, or things that I see throughout the week and day. And even though this one is a vertical, this particular one here is a vertical planner, it still has a lot of room for me to write in. And I feel like that's where a lot of like my junk journaling planning kind of came in too. So I think these are really great to start with. They're very inspirational. The colors are great. I do love Erin Condren. It's my first time using an Erin Condren, but I really think that explore all the different planners out there and just see which one really fits the need that you need. For me right now, like I said, in this era of my life, I am into jotting down a lot of my thoughts because one, I'm also struggling with depression, and I'm also struggling with anxiety because at work, I'm going through a lot with my job, and I feel like I'm not being supported. And so it has caused me to really like fall into a really bad headspace. And I feel like if I release all of that and write my thoughts down, it's really great for me when I do go to therapy and I talk about it and we share how I'm feeling and all that. And this season, I'm in a season of like movement, and I really want to pursue the life coaching thing on a huge scale. My goal, like, when someone asks you what your purpose is in life, and you're like, oh, I don't really know where my strengths are. My strengths are to serve and to give back. And I'll tell a quick little story. Years ago, I experienced a really bad deep depression, and I was living in Georgia at the time, in Atlanta to be specific. And I was going through a really rough emotional patch, and I never took time for myself to really like understand like what I was going through. And I packed up my whole apartment and moved across the country to Oregon. It had been the best decision I ever made. I didn't know anyone there. It was just me and my 14-year-old son, because he actually turned 15 when we got there. We lived in a motel for a year, but I was working. I did have a job, because one thing I realized that I'm good at is I will still keep my jobs. And so I'm very good in my field that I've chosen prior to this life coaching business. And so I've always been very good at that. So I had a job, but unfortunately at the time when I was deciding to settle there, I went to find an apartment, but the apartment I chose, I actually made too much money to afford the apartment. It was like rent stable or something like that, so they wouldn't give me the apartment because I didn't qualify. And in the ones that I did qualify for, I wasn't making enough to get into those apartments. But I think God has a way of really making you feel connected. And so he closed that door, and I wasn't sad. I was disappointed for a few minutes, but I wasn't sad, because later on God had a really great plan for me when it came to like my career as well as my living arrangements. In that time I worked in Oregon, but I lived in Vancouver, Washington. And I loved it. I met some really great friends there. I rode the train every day to work. And it took me about 2 hours to get to work every morning and get back home every evening. But it was the best time because I was healing. I was able to go to the book expo in Oregon, in Portland, where I was able to meet my favorite authors, some of my favorite authors. I also write, and I believe I told you that in my other video. And so it's funny because I had applied to be a part of the book expo the following year, and I was invited. I got an email that told me to come out the following year, but unfortunately I didn't see that email in time. But it was really great to still have that memory that I was invited to showcase my books at the book expo, because I am a writer at heart, and I feel like that was where God wanted me to serve. But I followed a different path, and I went with the job that I had at the time in Oregon. They were transitioning to Tennessee. And they asked me to come to Tennessee to help them with that. So that's how I got to Tennessee. I got to Tennessee because of a job. And when I got here 2 years later, I purchased my very first home. And that's the home I live in right now. I purchased my home, and that was the plan that God had for me. And I feel so grateful for that, because it really helps me understand, when God leads you and you're understanding your emotions and your feelings and where he puts you. So I just wanted to share that story. But now let's just jump into planning on this week's planner. I use several planners, and I use several like stickers. I don't have like a theme or anything like that. I'm not that girl that like just plans out like with a team and just a particular book. I go where the wind flows, and I think because of who I am as a person, that allows me to really see the creativity that comes out of these planners each week that I'm planning my life, because I see where my mind is at that moment. And I don't know if that's something that you can resonate with when you're planning. Like, yeah, it's great to have this aesthetic look and stuff like that, but I feel like I've chosen stickers where I am. In every week that you see, I will always have a section that has a book, like a sticker for books, because I'm an avid reader. I love to read. We're planning this week, the 15th to the 21st. That's the book we're planning in. And I love this layout because I can do so much here. I use this one for journaling and like getting my thoughts down and, and stuff like that. Here is the Caliva Plan Summer Florals. I believe that's the one. I picked out a few things from this one because I thought those colors were really beautiful and bright. And I feel like they would be perfect for this spread. So that's the reason why I popped that out. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead. I'm going to fast forward a little bit because I don't want this to be too long. And just kind of watch me put these together. If you want to know anything else, and you don't be afraid to come join me on this channel and learn about, how we plan and why we plan and what's important to me as I'm planning out my weeks. I will tell you, since I've started paper planning, I have been very organized. I've been tapped in and I've been present. And my therapist loves the fact that I can share this with her. Like when I write something down, I realize like, oh, these are very profound. I usually snap a couple pictures, and I email it to her. And I was like, oh, wow, look what was going on in my mind this week. And so here I have some little ephemera stickers. And I want to say thank you for watching my videos and coming along on this journey with me. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you on the next one. Don't forget, we're gonna do some happy planner planning, and I will show you my happy planner, and then we will look at my Erin Condren planner. So thanks, guys.
I keep waiting for you to call. I'm thinking that I'm gonna need a miracle. Wasted again. I tell my friends I'm feeling like you're coming, 'cause I feel the sun. I'm waiting for the special touch you give. I'm needing it more than I ever did. I don't wanna be a sacrificing love. For you I will. You should be here with me. No wasting time, yeah, you've been on my mind. Don't overthink it, you were there from the start when my heart became yours. Don't say we're over, you should be here with me. I'm waiting for the special touch you give. I'm needing it more than I ever did. I don't wanna be a sacrificing love. Before you I will. I keep waiting for you to call. I'm thinking that I'm gonna need a miracle. Wasted again. I tell my friends I'm feeling like you're coming, 'cause I feel the sun. I keep waiting for you to call. I'm thinking that I'm gonna need a miracle. Wasted again. I tell my friends I'm feeling like you're coming, 'cause I feel the sun. I'm waiting for the special touch you give. I'm needing it more than I ever did. I don't wanna be a sacrificing love. Before you I will. You should be here with me. No wasting time, yeah, you've been on my mind. Don't overthink it, you were there from the start when my heart became yours. Don't say we're over, you should be here with me. I'm waiting for the special touch you give. I'm needing it more than I ever did. I don't wanna be a sacrificing love. Before you I will. I keep waiting for you to call. I'm thinking that I'm gonna need a miracle. Wasted again. I tell my friends I'm feeling like you're coming, 'cause I feel the sun.
If you are like me, you love to give yourself motivational quotes. I usually look through all the books that I have to see if there's any quotes in there that really speaks to the spread. Sometimes the colors don't really go together, but it's mostly what I'm looking for is the quote. And this one I picked out of this Happy Planner book, Live Life in Full Bloom, because that's where I am. This is a flower spread. So I wanted to kind of show that that's where my mindset was when I was decorating and choosing that quote. I love to make sure that I, put down how I feel. And though I use these little circle stickers to put my mood, what mood I'm in on that particular day. It could be that day, it could be just the mood for the week. Those are the reasons why I use these little stickers in between and, my functional stuff like my to-dos, my follow-ups. And you guys will see me kind of right there in my follow-up. I have to make a doctor's appointment, and then my to-do list is usually very small. I don't like big to-do lists. I like small to-do lists, at least 3 to 4 items a day that I can tackle because I have a busy schedule. So I try to make sure that in that to-do list, there's something that has to do with my home, my health, and my, just reading or something like that. So that's why my to-do list is always like a small square and not a very long list. Self-care is very important to me, and I love to make sure that each week I am prioritizing self-care, whether it is, washing my hair, or, just relaxing and binge watching some TV or reading several books. I love to make sure that I'm getting in self-care every single week. I don't want to wait until I'm burnt out to then decide to plan self-care. I think if you're effective with planning self-care on a regular basis, that it becomes a routine, and so you don't feel like you're missing out on taking care of self. And that's something that I make sure I do. I always leave a room in my planner to say, hey, on a specific day or time, I'm going to plan some self-care for myself. I can relax, take a shower, take a bath, or do my makeup. I work from home, and sometimes it's hard to get up and be like, oh, I want to just get myself dolled up. But I find that if I stick to a great routine of doing my self-care or my skincare and stuff like that throughout the week, it helps me feel productive, and it also gives me a boost in my energy and my mood, and it makes my endorphins pop. And so I suggest that everyone schedule out self-care every single week. Don't wait till when you get to the point where you feel like you haven't had enough time for yourself. Plan self-care every single week. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this week's plan with me. And I will definitely catch you on the next one. I did plan the following week in the same planner, but I did not record it. So you guys will only get like some pictures. I will snap some pictures for you guys.